This is the Chassidic Story Project with Barak Hullman, podcasting from Jerusalem, Israel.
To become a supporter of this podcast, please go to HasidicStory.com, HASIDIC story.com.
You'll never know, you'll never know, you'll never know, you'll never know.
This is a story that the great Rebbe, Reb Tzvi Elimelech, the Dinover Rebbe, and the Bnei Yissaschar told about his father, Reb Feivel. In those days, Jews were so poor. They didn't have a lot of ways of making money. And one of the ways for a Torah scholar to make a living was to be a tutor in a rich Jew's house. The way it would work is that they would teach the children of the wealthy Jew from Sukkot until Pesach, make a few hundred rubles, and that was enough for them to live the entire year. So, the father of Reb Tzvi Elimelech, Reb Feivel, he became a tutor for a wealthy Jew. And the first Shabbos that he's there, Reb Feivel, he looks around, and he sees there are no guests. He says to the wealthy man, "How can you have a Shabbos without guests?" And the wealthy Jew says, "What do you think? I'm wealthy because I waste my money on guests? I would never waste my precious money on hosting guests." Reb Feivel was so innocent. He said, "Listen, do me a favor. Just take it off of my salary. There's no way I can have Shabbos without poor people at the table. So take it off my salary and invite some poor people to your table." So the wealthy man said, "Sure, whatever you want." And Reb Feivel stayed there from Sukkot until Pesach. A few days before Pesach, he walks into the room of the wealthy Jew. And he says, "Okay, I've served you for 6 months. Now give me my 500 rubles. And the rich Jew, he says, "What do you mean? You think I owe you 500 rubles? You owe me 500 rubles. For all those guests that we had and all that money that we spent. I had to spend twice as much as your salary on all those poor people." So, Reb Feivel, Tzvi Elimelech's father, he realized that this rich man wasn't going to give him the 500 rubles, and he didn't have 500 rubles to give him back. So he just grabbed all of his things and left the house as quickly as he could. In the meantime, his wife, who was back home, didn't have a single penny. She was buying everything on credit, from the grocer, from the butcher, from the baker, the clothing store. Everything that she needed, she was buying on credit, and everybody knew that her husband, Reb Feivel, was out teaching in the house of the wealthy Jew far away, and that he would come back with 500 rubles, which was more than enough to pay off all of her debts, and of course he would be there before Pesach. As it started getting closer to Pesach, all of the people who had lent Reb Feivel's wife and the mother of Reb Tzvi Elimelech money for all this time didn't want to lend her any money for Pesach, and she's starting to feel the squeeze. There's no more credit left. And of course Reb Feivel knew this. And he thought to himself, how am I supposed to come home without any money? I've been away for 6 months, and I have no money to come back with. What am I going to do? He got back home in the middle of the night, and he was scared to go into the house, because he had no money after being away for so long. So he went into the Beit Midrash, the house of study. Reb Tzvi Elimelech says, "I was only 7 years old then. I went in the morning to daven, and what do I see? My father in the Beit Midrash. I said to him, 'Father, why didn't you come home? We miss you so much. You've been away for so long.' And his father said, 'Oh, my son, I just didn't want to wake you up.' So Tzvi Elimelech, who was 7 years old, he ran back home to his mother, and he said, 'Father's home.' And she was so happy. And Tzvi Elimelech, he ran back to his father, and he told him, 'Listen, for 4 weeks we had nothing to eat, because the butcher and the grocer and nobody trusted us anymore. They wouldn't extend us any credit. And now we went and told them, thank God that you're here and you have the money. So now mother is preparing the best breakfast for you. She already went and got eggs, and she got meat, and we're so happy that you came home.'" So Reb Feivel, he was there in the Beit Midrash davening Shachrit, and he davened for so long. He didn't know what to do. After he davened for hours, it took him an hour to pack up his tefillin and his talis. And the whole time he was saying, "Hashem, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?" In the meantime, the 7-year-old Tzvi Elimelech, he says to his father, "No, let's go home already." And so at some point he had to leave the Beit Midrash. They started walking in the street. At first he was walking so slow, 1 foot in front of the other. It was like they were made of cement. He couldn't move his feet. Finally they came to the last corner before their house. And all of a sudden, a Cossack comes charging along on his horse. He stops right in front of my father. He says, "I'm looking for Reb Feivel." My father looks up at the Cossack. No fear in his eyes whatsoever, even though Jews were very scared of Cossacks because the Cossacks were so cruel to the Jews. Reb Feivel says, "That's me." The Cossack takes a little bag and he throws it at my father's chest. He hits my father's chest and he catches the bag before it falls. And when he looks back up, the Cossack was riding quickly into the distance. Reb Feivel, he opened the bag and he sees that it's pure gold coins. Gold coins made out of pure gold. So of course they had everything to pay off all of their debts. And they made a beautiful Seder. And Reb Tzvi Elimelech, who told the story, he said, that Seder night when my father opened the door for Eliyahu Navi, I started yelling. And I said, "Father, look, the Cossack is here again. The Cossack came to visit us again." My sweetest friends, when you're down, don't give up, because Hashem will send you help. Sometimes it comes directly, and sometimes it comes through Eliyahu Navi. May we all merit to see Eliyahu Navi, Elijah the prophet, at the Seder this year. Chag Sameach, my sweetest friends. Chag Sameach.
Am